TNT Sports is welcoming you back to Bristol Motor Speedway tonight. Qualifying has been canceled, so the starting lineup has been set by first practice speeds from Thursday evening, which those practices were not televised, which means KFC Cup Series is going to be leading the field of the green flag in his Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet tonight. The only problem that we have right now, since we were supposed to go green at about 8:45 p.m. local time, it has rained basically most of the night. However, there was an upside. About 9:50, the local to the track, 9:50 p.m. Eastern, the rain has stopped. Track drivers have been working most of this racetrack, especially down on the apron where these cars are getting off and on pit road. Covers are currently being taken off the car, are still on the cars. Drivers are still waiting around for the word to be called back, which will be in about 10 minutes, since the track is actually getting close to almost looking completely dry. And also, we could very well be seeing cars on the track tonight. Last time we even saw action before rain was the shortened practice session earlier this afternoon. Originally supposed to be an hour and a half. It was shortened an hour by rain, unfortunately. So these drivers not really having a lot of track time other than the 2 practice sessions today and 1 last night, and they weren't really that long to begin with. So in the meantime, drivers are being called to their cars. You see the 43 pit crew of Joseph Lombard, STP colors tonight. They got leaf blowers drying pit road in their pit stall. The track is looking dry. You got some drivers being strapped in as we are closing in on 11 o'clock here in the east. Here, 11 p.m. Eastern. And see these drivers getting strapped in. Been delayed close to a little over 2 hours. But the track is almost dry, and we could very well be seeing some racing today. While we wait out this rain delay, let's take a look at your starting lineup. While we wait out this delay tonight, let's take a look at your starting lineup. It is a throwback race. Row 1, we have the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet and the Liftmaster Chevrolet. KFC Cup Series Throwback, throwing it back to when Bass Pro Shops first came out. And Casey Kane is doing his throwback to Terry Labonte tonight. Row 2, Jacob 2, driving the iconic rainbow paint scheme tonight. Jeff Gordon has piloted that car to several wins here at Bristol in the Monster Energy Cup Series. And Zach Speed driving the Darrell Waltrip Tide Ride tonight. Row 3, we got the Interstate Batteries Toyota, which is a throwback to Dale Jarrett, and the Target Chevrolet. Row 4 finds the Bush Beer Ford and the Fastenal Ford, which is ironically also a throwback to Darrell Waltrip. Row 5, we have the STP Ford driven by Joseph Lombard. He is going to be doing a throwback to Richard Petty. He has also been very good at Bristol. And rounding out the top 10, we have Jonathan Morrison driving a throwback to Richard Childress's first car in the Monster Energy Cup Series. While we take a look through the rest of the field, let's see if we can mic up Hunter Miller. Hey Hunter, this is Wally Dawn back up in the TNT booth. You got us? One more time. Hey, this is Wally Dawn back in the TNT booth. You got us? Looks like water on the radio. Yeah, 10-4 Wally. You've had kind of a rough summer there, Hunter. Do you feel confident about turning this performance around tonight, and how you feel your car can perform here at Bristol? We haven't had a lot of track time, really. We had about an hour of practice yesterday evening, which wasn't that long, to be honest. Wasn't that quick, actually. We were second quickest in that session. I feel we do have a good car. I mean, I'm sharing the setup the 48 of Nate Sherman used to win at Brighton earlier this year back in race 6. I'm going to use that setup, see if we can put our 5 Chevrolet in victory lane. It's going to be pretty cool doing a throwback to Terry Labonte, since he is at the center of 2 famous Bristol finishes in the 90s, both involving him and Dale Earnhardt. Hopefully we don't crash across the line and win, but that'd be a great way to win in style, I guess. All right, have a good luck tonight. Don't fall asleep in there. Thanks, Wally. It's getting kind of late out. Just hope there isn't any red flags to just unnecessarily drag this race out. Hopefully we don't see any of that type of racing. Even those short tracks have been fairly brutal in the IHOP Cup Series this year. And I mean fairly brutal. As we look at our 6 HD onboard cameras, Jacob Tube with the Exalta coating systems on board from their Ashbury Automotive Group. Alvin Alonso with the Fastenal on board. Dylan Murway with the Busch Beer on board. Nate Sherman with the Lowe's on board. Hunter Rizzoni with the Monster Energy on board tonight. His team dropped to the back due to his crash in the practice session Thursday night. He dropped to a backup car. And then the last onboard camera, hometown kid Caleb Hoffman, starting tonight in the 13th position. While we get ready to wait things out, we're going to look at our McDonald's race menu tonight. 30 laps around this half-mile bull ring, which is plenty of time for some contact racing. Guarantee you the bumper will be used more than once. 34 cars. To the rear, Hunter Rizzoni, who crashed in the Thursday evening practice. Since the outside lane, some guys are being told to move up and maybe try the weeper that is on the top of the track. Hunter Rizzoni just got into that loose stuff. Hit a pretty heavy hit to the inside wall, essentially calling it a backup. And matter of fact, he didn't qualify that well anyway, so he's going to start in the back. This race is carrying a little bit of a historic flair. The Throwback venue will probably shift around at times in the IHOP Cup Series, a deal that was reached all the way back in Season 3 around this time last year. As previous 2 years, it was at Darlington Raceway, and then this year it's going to be moved to Bristol Motor Speedway. Remember, Darlington was postponed from Sunday afternoon to Tuesday morning. Pace car is making the turn, which means we're going to see these 34 men take on a very tough half-mile bull ring. Glad to see the wet fans coming into the stands and going to be ready to see a great show tonight. KFC Cup Series, Hunter Miller lead him down, 16-second laps, bumping and grinding. We are green on NBC. I'm sorry, TNT. KFC Cup Series, he had a fast car coming off the jump on the start, leaving Hunter Miller in the 5 to battle with his teammate for second. Mostly side by side, everybody trying to move to the bottom. So far, the top 3 has the cleanest route around, as everybody else is pretty much side by side through the field. KFC Cup Series leads lap 1, 5 bonus points towards his championship efforts. Jacob Tube has slipped into second. Zach Speed has taken third. Hunter Miller continues his decline on the start. The 18 has gotten to his inside. Tied for fourth. Picture though. Little bit of extra side-by-side racing in the top 10. As you see, the 43 Joseph Lombard racing the side of the 48s behind him. Both of them had kind of a close moment on the start. 48 wanted to go. 43 got into the 43. A little bit of contact and almost wrecked him in turn 1. Here at Bristol, kind of unusual to see this kind of racing early on. KFC Cup Series has a very fast race car as he is getting close to lap traffic. See, he just got by the 15 car. Put him lap down. He is in 33rd place. Oh, got a car in the wall. Car in the wall, backstretch. And, oh, no, there they go. 3 cars spin down on the bottom of the racetrack. 2 of them are teammates. Zoix Moon in the 22 is one of them. Also involved, the 27 NICS Cup Series, the 2, also has damage as well. Caution flag is out. Ran us to the a little bit of extracurricular activity already. 31 just got ran into on the backstretch under that caution. Yep, there's the 21 of Xavier Saldreska. And then the 3 cars that spun. There's a fourth car caught up in that as well. That is the 88 of Apollo Moon, driving the Tax Slayer Throwback. Possibly looks kind of like Bobby Allison's 87 Daytona 500 car that he drove that year. Oh yeah, that's got damage. You see the 2 car down on pit road, heavy damage to the back of his car. And so is the 27. Yeah, 2's got oil leaking. He's done. Robert Smith currently, he with his win at North Carolina, he'd be in under the Monster Energy point system. But in this point system, if you are not in the top 16, you will, with win or not, you will not make this chase. So it's kind of becoming disaster mode for the 2 Penske drivers. Zoe Moon has not won all season. And she is down on pit road on the front stretch. And she's getting some repairs. Really got checked up, got hit in the back by the 26, by the 6, who got turned into the 27, who got turned by the 2, and all 3 of them got finished off by the 88. That 14 in KFC Cup Series, though, he's got a strong car. I expect him to be a pretty big threat tonight. Guys, we will not quit. Fix this damn car. If we don't fix it, we're in trouble. Fix this car. All right, we got the front end is smashed in. Is the radiator hit? Did the radiator get hit in any way? Oh no, the 88. See, when this started, this wrecking, down in turn 1. The 31 already got in the 21. He already had some pretty heavy damage. Came in pretty late on that. We came in late on the initial contact, what started this. Then the 22, he goes in, checks up. Checked up quite a bit, actually, going into 1. .22 checks up, hit by the 6, which in turn basically turned him into the 27 and set that off. It's square. It's kind of in a weird angle, the damage on the 2 car. Then the 88 actually checked off as well to avoid not getting hit by the 33, turning it into a bigger problem. So these wrecks at Bristol we talked about in the pre-race, they start, but they often don't, or in these tight groups, there's a good chance most of the cars in that nearby group are going to get swept in it. The 2, see him, his bandaged up car. 88, he's done. Because he hit square on the back of the radiator of the 2 car. By the way, the winner of the Mountain Dew Baja Blast Mountain Dew Decision poll was announced earlier today. Okay, as Hunter Miller and Jacob 2 will be carrying their Mountain Dew paint schemes, while Apollo Moon will drive his regular Mountain Dew car, which I'm sure after today he's going to have plenty of time to look forward to that event. Now, in the meantime, since we've completed close to 3 laps, and we're going to probably get a restart here this time by, we began this race 2 hours later after we initially planned it tonight. We were supposed to go green 11:45. It is now 8:45. We went green at 10:56 p.m. Eastern. Sorry, 11:06 actually. Got that wrong. Now as we're getting 40 minutes had passed, and this time by it is almost 10 minutes till Saturday morning. Let's just say we're probably going to see a few more incidents tonight. A lot of bumping and grinding. Here we go. Oh, more bumping and grinding between the 5 and the 18. He got together with him. Yeah, that's a pretty decent hit to the right rear of that car. Or, sorry, right front. Right front damage, boys. We might be in the wall. Heavy damage to that car. Zach Speed on the inside of the racetrack. He's making it work. Could he get by the 14? He's trying to get the nose in on that car. Possibly. Yes, he does. New leader at Bristol. The 18 has made his way down to the pit lane, and Marty. Joshua Leanmatch got on the radio, told his crew chief the 5 ran into the side of us. The 5 ran into the side of us on the restart. Followed by a bunch of words I can't say on TV. He, flat left front, he brings the car down the pit lane. You have to make it around both times without the fender shredding. In fact, you see tire chunks falling. Oh, now the tire's shredded. He is on the apron and out of the way. So the race is still green. Joshua Leanbach has had very consistent finishes all season. Could this be possible danger to that threat? That streak tonight? See him coming down the pit lane to the attention of his crew. The left front fender gone on the 18 car. Now the caution gone on that car as you see 18 crew members get the tape on the car, trying to tape that car up. What would be a very promising night for Joshua Leanbatch may have just gone south. The 20 has encountered more lap traffic here at Bristol. As you can see, is being caught behind the two lapped and beat up cars from the first multi-car incident earlier tonight with quite a few cars actually. There's a few cars taking outside. At this point, when you're stuck in this situation, that's why a lot of people use the bumper in this series on short tracks, because they just get boxed in. And it looks like he's going to try to follow the 20. Zach Speed's going to try to follow the 2, using the 27 as a pick to probably box him behind Jacob 2. Box the 24 behind, maybe to get the 14 by. It is a very effective trick, but look who it brings along, the 14 KFC Cup Series. We did not want that. You see Joshua Leanbatch has come up next to the 7 out, and look at how bandaged this car is. The left front of that car is. Left front fender, at least. There are pieces of tire rubber on the racetrack. However, NASCAR decided not to throw the yellow due to the fact they're out of the racing groove. He rode around for a lap or so till he got out of the way, and then at that point just wore it down to the rim. They are at the entrance to pit road. NASCAR has so far decided to let him race, and now we got a pretty heavy battle for the lead that is being contested in pretty heavy traffic. Jacob Tube in the 24, he's trying to use the outside lane to get to the 14. He almost crosses over to take the lead, try to get down to the inside. Now we got more traffic that these guys have to deal with. That is definitely not going to go well. The 20 and 22 together, 22 a lap down. Question is, will he let him go? Will Zark's Moon let the 20 go? Wondering, there were still some pretty tight words being used after the controversy at Chicagoland, which led to those 3 demo-filled green-white checkers. She does. Nice job letting him by there. That wasn't necessary. Nice job letting him by. Nice job letting him by. Why the fuck isn't 20 racing us when we're a lap down? Or we're multiple laps down, actually? What a fucking idiot. Ooh, okay. I guess love hasn't been lost between the 22 and the 20. Now, past the 83 is pretty clear lap traffic, at least till we get to the 18 and 56. Oh. You're on board the 24 of Jacob 2. Currently being stuck behind the 29, which in turn is holding up his teammate in the 5. Could we see somebody get moved right here? That's another thing we talked about in the practice show. When you get caught in these groups of cars that tend to happen during long green flag runs when you get caught up behind them. Your natural instinct is, we got one in the wall. The 29 of Zuxman came right across the nose of the 22. Big damage to that car. And big damage to both of them, actually, because 22 now is the right front, and she's in the wall. Caution is out, caution is out, caution is out. What previously looked to be was a bad night for Zoix Moon may have just gotten worse. And what this wreck basically happened right in front of the 24. Looking at his onboard, both these cars got together, and Jacob just looked to the inside and just went. Goodbye. Nice job, dude. Now get on the track. Get on the track. On the track, there's going to be a couple cars spinning, a few cars spinning behind you. Big spin behind you. So right here, this is coming off in 2. The 22, see him getting by off of turn. Oh, that ain't good. Just didn't see him, I guess. Didn't see her on the racetrack. Just weird. Rush Moon, heavy right. M&M's Cup Series, heavy right side damage to his car. And I mean heavy damage. See, the bodywork guys are trying to piece together how they can fix this car. Zoix Moon pitting 3 stalls up. Second time her crew's been to the service of that car. She's one of the drivers who has not won. She started this race 15th on the cut board, on the board to make the chase. You can point your way in by points in the chase, but a win means you're in, pretty much. Winning, you're in. These drivers, however, if you are not below the 16 and you have a win, you're not going to make the chase. You have to point your way in, be in the top 16. So Noah Spalding, who currently sits 23rd in points with his win back in Chicagoland, would not be considered eligible. However, Alvin Alonso, who is currently 17th right now, just 6 points out of the cutoff, but as of right now, he is in. He won Sunday at Sebring. That would mean he is considered playoff eligible. However, plenty of things can change because we're only on lap 11 of a 30-lap race here at Bristol, which if you are still up late at night watching this race on TNT, you have not missed a thing. Just going to recap. We were supposed to go green a little past 8:45. The start time was pushed up to 8:34 because of rain. It rained for a good 2 hours, just past 10:30. The rain stopped. Drivers were being called to their cars 5 minutes later. And then pit crews had time to clean the radios and pit stalls. And we got down and running. KFC Cup Series has had a very fast car. He's sitting in the second position. He has had a fast car basically all night so far. But the action got started hot and early on lap 3. Xavier Sodreska got together with 31, causing an accordion that would end up with 2 Penske cars spun around, the 22 and the 2 sandwiched with the 27. The 2 is still on the racetrack, but running quite a few laps down. You see there are a total of 6 drivers still a lap down. However, Darnell Matthew has got one of his laps back. This means 5 cars are a lap down now. M&M's Cup Series, his night is done at this point. He has dropped the window net once he got to pit road. His crew couldn't repair the car. He got out of the car and stormed off to the 22 pit to have a conversation with Todd Gordon. See, pit crews of the 22, they're currently trying to get the 29 guys out of their stall, which is what they have to do. M&M's Cup Series being told to get off the 22 box by officials, where Bill Weber is waiting. Bill. Hey, Coco Garcia, you got done talking to the 22. What'd you guys talk about? How's the weather? M&M's Cup Series very displeased by what happened with what went down tonight. He had a pretty nice Ken Schrader M&M's Throwback that he would love to take to victory lane, but unfortunately that'll have to go till another time. That's just frustrations of just running mid-pack to poor current all season and then get taken out in something like that. Zoe Spoon, her night basically went from bad to worse. Getting hit in the back. Now she's got more damage. I'm sure she cannot wait to leave this place. Don't worry, we'll probably be whittling out the contenders here if these drivers keep racing like this. Getting ready for the restart. Alvin Alonso is currently with Zarek Moon's Trolls tonight. Alvin Alonso is currently 16th. He has cracked the top 10. The 11 is currently sitting 13th in points with no win. Derek Lewis is basically moved up to 11th. He's locked in. He's good. Drivers with the most wins so far. Jacob Tube, Jonathan Morrison, Nate Sherman, and Caleb Hoffman are currently have been locked in since Sebring. The 2 Hendrick teammates locked in Sunday, even though Jacob Tube finished 27th that day. And Jonathan Morrison locked into the chase tonight just by starting this race. Caleb Hoffman can do the same if he can finish. If he can just finish. Doesn't matter as long as that 19 Toyota rolls across the start-finish line. Midway through the Sharpie 500 tonight at Bristol. 2 races left till the chase. Here we go. Oh, wow. What a bad start by the 17. He's going to go round. And right in front of traffic. Yellow, 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 yellow. Caution flag is out. big time. Remember what we talked about Caleb Hoffman? Just ran in the back of the 43 on the restart. Actually, they have decided to waive the restart off because of this. Now they're going to reorganize the field. They only very rare that NASCAR does this. So they're going to line Alvin Alonso back up in 9th, reset the lap counter to 15, well, 16 technically, since they took the green, because the 17 just didn't go. I don't understand why the 43 would drive through me like that. Substitute driver kid, hasn't raced in season 1. Restart. Take 2. Now this time the 17 maybe he's waiting on someone. He's probably waiting on that 43 if he can get to him. But meanwhile, we got a pretty dead even duel for the lead right here between the 20 and the 14. Could the 5 get up there? 5 of Hunter Miller. Alvin Alonso is drifted to the middle of the pack. A lot of bumping, pushing, and shoving. Especially between the 43 and the 1 and the 19. Here's now Sevdo just came down. 43 is there. There was some contact. Then he came by and just took a little bit of a shot at the 19. Zach's speed has gone. And taking advantage of all this, while the 1 and 43 battle it out, WUB Network has just moved into 10th, and as the round goes, the 43. Caution flag is out. Joseph Lombard spinning into the inside wall. Caution is out again. 4th yellow of the night. Well, technically early morning. And Grayson Sevdo just basically got in the back of him. Picked him up, turned him around. Which explains why the shame for that 43 team because they had such a good race car tonight. It's such a good car. He hit the fender, which basically means he hit square, but I don't really think it could be that bad. He could repair the damage and pound it out and still be competitive. However, Grayson Alcevdo has just gotten a warning by NASCAR to settle down. When haven't we heard that this season in a short track race, fellas? I bet Joseph Lombard will probably remember next week at Darlington if those two get near. I bet they'll remember. And speaking of the next couple races for the chase, the tickets to the race, 1 week from next Sunday, the NASCAR IHOP Cup Series makes its way to the Darlington Raceway for the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Coverage will begin at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on NBC. And then Saturday night, we're going to be back at Under the Lights at California Speedway. Coverage begins at 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC Sports. And then the rest of the chase races are all going to be seen on the NBC family of networks. And then the chase begins at Loudon. Coverage begins at noon on NBC. And then later, the only Saturday night race in the chase, Nashville Super Speedway. Coverage begins at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT. And then the rest of the races are all going to be seen on NBC. One thing to note, some interesting drama developed on pit road between the 3 and the 42. Coming out of the pits, the 3 was mad at the 42 because of presumably just got boxed in. Explains why there's all that everybody's slowing down on pit road. So they finished their stops under this caution. Explains why we're on lap 18, by the way. And then coming out of pit road, this. Guarantee you that's going to probably get a visit to the trailer. After the race, Derek Lewis had to come back down pit road to get repaired on the right front of his car. Jonathan Morrison, obviously very upset on the radio and calling for the 42 to be parked for the rest of the night. That goddamn 42 just spun us coming out of pit road. Fuck that guy. I swear if I find him, I'm going to put him in the fence. And, yeah. That was the end of that. So Derek Lewis has been penalized to the tail end of the longest line. He is the last car on the lead lap. However, he has to restart at the back of the field. He is currently shown in 26th, but he has to restart last of this pack. But in the meantime, up front, we are back green at Bristol. $14 didn't get a good start. KFC Cup Series, can he keep even with the 5 and the 20 coming off 2? Great clearance by the 20 of Zach Speed and the 5 of Hunter Miller. Veterans taking on Bristol. Jacob Tube to the inside to take third on the 14. Possible slide job. Oh, there they go. Slide job, a little bit of contact. Big contact, both cars. 24 slid up into the side of the 14, I believe. Looks like don't see any rubbing. And Jonathan Morrison, guess he's using this as fuel to get himself through the pack. Pack right there, he is right next to this. Just went 3 wide on the 56 and just about pushed the 7 car into the wall back there last time, especially on that restart. And tried his damnedest to get by. In fact, almost went on the apron to get by the 56. Zach Speed with 2 wins this season. He won ORP. Last time he won was at Kansas. 10 laps to go tonight at Bristol. That 5 car is all over the bumper of the 20. Oh, looks like we got some bumping back here between the 48 and the 14. Big damage this time. Possibly between the 14 as the 14 just got put in the wall. He's going to probably chase that 48 down at this point. See him drop back. He only lost a few spots. He is currently racing the 78 as the tire has let go and he's into the wall. Caution has just come out here at Bristol. This changes everything. This is the 6th caution flag of the night with 10 laps of racing left. That guy, screw that 48. I'm going to knock his ass out after the rip. If he does that again, I don't care. That is pretty heavy damage to that 14. And if you're KFC Cup Series, you're probably fuming over the radio. Where's that 48 pit stall? Bring it in. Load it up. You put us in the wall. No, we hit square. We hit square, guys. We hit pretty square. I don't see much damage, much of a reason to pull it in. Bring it down. Repair the car right now. We're repairing it. And here's Nate Sherman's comments on the radio. If he crowds me like that again, down to the bottom, I'm going to put him in the wall. That's how it works sometimes. You can't always be the bat. You can't always be the ball. You just, sometimes things got to go. Things come and go with this sport. 10-4. You did the right thing. Besides, if 48, if I did that to the 14, I expect him to put me in the wall. We are going to, anyways, as we're getting close, it's actually almost 1:30 a.m. here in the East on the Saturday morning. Glad you can spend your early morning with us here on TNT. And would like to remind you that after this race, you can watch Law and Order. If you're on the West Coast. However, if you are on the East, you will be watching the midnight encore of the SpongeBob SquarePants 400. Approximately an hour or so after this race ends, followed by paid programming. Come on, lefts, go, go, go. Just change the fucking tire. Go. We apologize for the as the 20 has driven away by the 14. Zach Speed is currently talking about potential moisture in the area. Get ready for the restart. Jacob Tube lost a couple spots on that pit exchange, but other than that, it's just been relatively the same up front. Hunter Miller or a Joe Gibbs car. Yeah. While we wait things out. Surprisingly for a Bristol race, with the amount of yellows that we've had, we're up to 6. The record in this series was 9, and that was all the way back in this race in Season 2. In fact, we tied the record a couple weeks ago back in Chicago, back at Chicagoland. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we hit this record again. Here we go. Great jump by the 11 to Sports Center Cup Series. He gets even with, he's well clear of the 5 going into turn 1. Here comes the 48 on the outside. Oh, spinning. Around goes the 5 of Hunter Miller. Hunter Miller slams into the inside wall on the back stretch. Stay down, stay down, stay down, stay down. Oh, somebody hit him. 2, 3, 4, several cars pile in the aftermath. Oh my God. Caution flag is out. Are there any chase hopefuls in there? Brendan Lip. Then he came up. Oh man. It's Peyton Beasley in the 6. Big time below for him in points. Hot Wheels 44 in the 31. He's ran up front relatively consistently through the mid-summer portion of the races. Just bad luck has befallen him, and it looks to be that way again. They're going to wave the red flag because with 6 laps to go and it be getting kind of late, there's going to be a lot of debris to clean up. With how late it has been, all the remaining cars in that wreck, not in that wreck, have pulled to the front stretch. Hopefully, they can make nice little, just quick work of the wreck on that back. Big time hit for the 5 of Hunter Miller. Then he got hit twice while he was spinning. Looks like the 56, the 9 are also involved. A bit of a fire on the 31 as he has driven his machine through to the pits into the garage and tried turning into the garage. He has shut the car off. In fact, NASCAR is looking at the remaining time left. If we get this wreck cleared in the logical time, we will get the race going. Hunter Miller has, by the way, been checked and released from the care center. He just walked down. That wreck basically destroyed about 6 cars. He is going to be credited with a 32nd place finish. Unfortunately. Now we wait. As we look at just anybody who's left, when you really think about it, we started tonight with 34, and in that wreck alone, we took out 6 cars. Well, 7 if you count the 10, but he is down on pit road. He is getting some damage repair done to his car. And how about DJ Harris running in the 9th spot? Driving that car this weekend, assuming duties, is Alex Wheeler was released from the team after a Sunday at Sebring. Previously, the two would share duties in the car. In fact, the 22 and the 2 who involved in the crash lap 1 are just now in the lead lap. Same with 27. The 14 is taking the wave around. And anyways, we got a pretty wild 4-lap dash right here. Well, 3 next time by. Going to be 3 laps. I guarantee you somebody wants to move that bumper. Is going to use that bumper. Whether it be the 48 or the 11 or somebody out of this group. Someone wants to use that bumper. However, NASCAR has decided that due to how late this race stretched with that red flag, they are going to allow one green-white checkered attempt compared to the usual 3. Part of it may be due to the late start and how late it's getting at night. In fact, with the shifted schedule, many people didn't think the race was going to start at 11 at night. They're going to do post-race interviews in the media center tomorrow morning. We will not cover those. So, 3 laps to go here at Bristol. If we get a caution, we will go to 1 green-white checkered instead of 3. Oh, Caleb Hoffman, 4 get together. Round goes to 19. The 4, the 16, looks like the 33. The 1 is involved. We will go to overtime here at Bristol. How late it's getting. This is mostly just, for the safety of the fans, that they probably won't be starting this race so late next year, hopefully. The 4, the 3, and the 19 are down on pit road on the front stretch, while the 1 and 16 have the first 2 stalls in the back, the last 2 stalls in the back stretch before they exit that pit road and go into turn 4 and the front pit stalls, 1 through 16, then 17 through 34. Now, Alvin Alonso. Now, Grayson Alcedo, both these drivers obviously are going to be well below the cut line. They're currently tied for, Grayson Alcedo is in the chase. He's just fallen a little closer. He is 13th right now. After the race, he's probably going to be 14th when we leave Bristol. Well, we're probably going to be seeing probably the craziest restart of this season right here. Right there. We're going to see the craziest restart. Couple underfunded guys. DJ Harris in the 33 car for Circle Sport K Racing. He could very well get a strong finish out of this race. Sports Center Cup Series has not won since Texas, and guess who we had to fight? The 48. And guess who's on the front row tonight? The 11 and the 48. And they got a win at stake to fight for. This is going to be insane. Hey. Zach Speed and Jacob Tube. Another two more faster cars in the field tonight. They could very well be in contention to possibly steal one from the 11 and the 48. Here we go. Green. Still green. Still green. Green, 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 green. Green, green. All right, we're good. Good. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Still good. Still even. About that restart by the 48 right there. Dead even, but the 20 got a horrible start. Really just jammed those guys up right there coming off two. And look at DJ Harris shove his way to fourth. Fourth on the 20 with that move, dropping the 20 back a few spots. Off of turn 4, they stayed dead even. White flag. Nate Sherman barely led that lap. Here comes the 33 of DJ Harris. He could probably surprise these guys. Oh, spin. Round goes to 24. Ooh, into the wall. And the caution flag has come out. Who was ahead at the moment of caution? Looking at the replay. I guess the 33 was just really tight on that 24. And oh yeah, that did it. Luckily, hit the pit road, didn't, clip the pit wall like we thought he was going to do. Gets hit. Oh, that's a shot. Then you get here. See the 48 and the 11 battling. 24 thinking he was going to clear him here. 33 gets into the back of him. And that just turned the 24 car around. Come in, Jesus. Oh, that's a big hit. Glad to see Jacob Tube whip the window net down. And then the caution was waived right about here. Here, the 48 just edged the 11 out for a win. And with that damage, Jacob Tube is currently being credited with a 6th place run tonight, despite being turned head on into the wall. Of course, NASCAR will look at all the timing loops to determine who finished where. And it may have taken all night and part of Saturday morning to finish this race, but oh man, it was a show. Nate Sherman driving the 48 has just notched his 2nd win Kind of hard to say that with the 48 when talking about the 48 team, but somehow it happens. Of the year tonight in the NASCAR IHOP Cup Series Sharpie 500 at Bristol. Sports Center Cup Series second, and you got to talk about DJ Harris. He stayed out of the way of everybody most of tonight. The Canadian native out of the way of everybody basically all night, and got a nice finish. How about Alvin Alonso sticking it up? Another foreign-born driver who also locked himself into the chase tonight. With his win, Joseph Lombard, despite spinning mid-race, finished 8th. Looking through the rest of the field, a couple from things to note. Right about here is where you usually see the big name drivers just hit a rough night taking on this track. Caleb Hoffman and Dylan Murway are down in on the 4 pit stall talking things over. Leading to the second and final caution. 8 cautions. We were 1 short of the record set here in Season 2. Not just for Bristol, but for all the races in this series. We were 1 short. Then you look through the rest of the field. You see, and then Apollo Moon. His night ended 27 laps early when he got caught up in that early crash on lap 3. Congratulations to Nate Sherman for his second win of the year. He could be strong on the short tracks come to the chase. And remember, 1 week from Sunday, you will see the Mountain Dew Southern 500 coverage beginning at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on NBC. Then at 1 p.m. Eastern is the telecast of the Mountain Dew Southern 500. And then the final regular season race will be Saturday night at California. Coverage beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC, and that'll be used to end out the regular season. Well, for those of you who are spending most of your late Friday night and early Saturday morning with us on TNT, it was a fun race, actually. A lot of bumping and grinding. A lot of pretty damaged cars, too. And in the end of it all, Nate Sherman stood above the Bristol chaos just by an edge. He is the king of Bristol. So long from Bristol, and we'll see you 1 week from Sunday in Darlington.